Welcome back, this is Nerd Dad on episode 33 of our Factorio playthrough. Last time we managed to get our copper hooked up. We're still getting a few flashing symbols saying, hey, we need some repairs, so we might want to get some things down there to help with that, some repair tools. But I think it's time for us to take a little bit of a look at explosives and missiles, or rockets, or whatever we want to call them. Things that go boom. That should be the name of this episode. Things that go boom. We're going to run up top. And I think I'm trying to keep it up where we have those flamethrowers. Might be a good idea. But actually, since I'm thinking about it, since I've actually stopped to think for half a second, what do we got here? We're going to need explosives. Okay, yeah. We're going to need some green circuits. Oh, okay, didn't know about that. And we're going to need some iron plates. Well, we have green circuits coming up a good chunk of the way, but we also know that we're kind of taxing that line pretty heavily, aren't we? What are we going to do? We're going to have to do something about those green circuits. They're still just really not doing what they need. Now, why is that? It's still copper, eh? Copper still is the problem. Should we think about addressing the copper situation? That becomes a bit of a question. If we wanted to grab this little hole here, we could make our own little smelter just specifically for making green circuits, and I'm kind of wondering. There are times when you say, I don't like waiting for stuff all the time. I just don't want to. But is this one of those times? I don't know. Haven't we got explosive rockets yet? Are you telling me that we have yet to learn? Huh. I thought we did that. Why haven't we got it? I feel like I've missed something very basic. And again, people were yelling the answer to me, and I'm like, I just don't recall. Oh, really? I didn't know that explosive it's a cannon shell, that's why. It's because I want the tanks. Oh, well. What's military 3 going to cost us? 100. That's going to cost us 175. What are we doing right now? We're doing rocket damage 3. What's rocket damage 3 worth? 200? I don't know why that's taken so long. We got all the goodies coming in. We're not short anything. The only thing we really could do to speed that up is add some labs. And, well, you know how I feel about that. Not too excited about that concept because that just means other problems are going to occur. Alright. Well. Yeah, I mean, as nice as it looks when we got all this copper here, I know the moment I go in to pull a bunch more copper, if we're having troubles, this isn't backlogging, we know that we're already over pulling the copper. Our alternative is, what do we got here? I got a few things we can think about doing here. That's our advanced material. It's still a ways off. I really don't want to go down that path quite yet. The only advantage would be that we could double up the lines. Do we add another line? Do we try to force Mother Nature to do something she wasn't meant to do? No, that's not what we're doing. Okay. What happens if we can't do that? I thought we could add just a stone. Alright, we're going to need a few more of these guys. Okay. Why are we building it here? Alright. And why are you building something? What is your problem? Do you have a problem? Like, what is your problem, man? Alright. We're going to have a bit of a backlog there, so we're going to grab a few of these. I think we just kind of need to bite the bullet here. I've been trying to avoid it and trying to avoid it and try to avoid it. I think what we're going to do is reroute this copper line. I think this is what we're going to do. Let's do this. Alright, we want military 3. And we're going to get on top of that. Okay, I'm going to just do this. We're going to bump this across here like this. Take it as far as it'll go. And just go way over here. And we'll bring it in kind of like this, and then we're going to bring you back up like this, and we're going to come right up over the top. This is going to get a little bit crazy with the number of times we're going to need to kind of jump lines here, just because we're kind of working around other things now. Like that. Then we're going to bring you back in like this. Actually, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, oh, that better be a red. And we'll have to do another one here like this. There we go. Okay, so what's this going to look like? Is this going to work? I'm not too sure about this yet. Alright, just kind of do that. How did I do that? That was dumb. Okay, and for this one we'll go all the way around, too deep, over like that, and then we'll bring you in like that. And then we're going to bring the other one in one across like this. And we will do the jump right there. Oh, I'm calling it a jump. It's actually going under it. It's not going over it, but whatever. And we'll just bring this line down like this. So we're just going to reroute this. And what I'm hoping is I'm going to make enough space to build a double-sided sort of copper processing area there. So if we can pull this off, I'm going to just snip these lines here. I'm going to try to back feed the copper that's in these lines. Kind of like this. And hopefully, kind of like this. We can backfeed as much of this as we possibly can. We'll have to just clean this out of here for right now. That way we don't have to pick it all up in our bags and redistribute it. We can kind of just, you know, kind of do this with it. Alright, and then we can just kind of put our bots on that. Yep, come on boys, get to work. Now let's just get all the bots working. Okay, and once we've got that done, we can just kind of come in here like this and snuck that one into there and put that one across like that, and there we go. Alright, somebody needs to come and pick this stuff up because I can't wait all day. So if you guys aren't coming over here to pick it up, I'll do it. If I have to do it myself, then I'll do it myself. Okay, what we're going to run into, though, is we're going to have a bit of trouble here because we're kind of stacked up really tight at the top end here. We're going to have to do a bit of cleanup up here to kind of get this all to work. Going to need to think about the coal a little bit. What we're going to do, I think, is push this line. We might only go 9 deep on these ones just to try to make sure we can fit it all in. Just because I'm kind of shoehorning it in right here. So probably a little bit of bad planning going on. Let's flip these guys around. We don't need any more of those. Okay. Now we cut our power too, apparently, so we'll just do that. Here's back online? Yeah, it looks like it's back online. Okay, so let's just do these 9 deep. Better than nothing. 1, 2. And why don't we just do the smart thing? Grab this and go, oh, we wanted to have something that's going to look a little like this, please. To about there. Yep, that's good enough for right now. We may already have something like this. We got blueprints we probably need to delete. That's okay. And if we can kind of just drop this right in about there. Nice little match. And there we go. There's at least 2 sets. And it looks like we might even be able to drop a 3rd set over here. Let's see if we can kind of build that on the fly while this one's doing it. We got enough space? Oh, I think we can just shoehorn one more in. I think it'll fit. Alright. Here comes the troops. Go, boys, go. Oh, what happened there? Picked up a robot and dropped it and he couldn't... Oh, I have no room in my bag for my bots. I built something and caused grief. There we go. Now they got space to jump in. This poor guy just fell to the ground. He's like, I can't do it anymore. I want to pick him up. So weird. Alright. I don't know what his problem is. I think they're trying to drop stuff in my lap and they're all having a a bit of a challenge getting things in there just because I've got too much on the go. That was kind of a weird place for that one. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. Yes, we've broken the beauty. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, and we also said to ourselves, you know what? We need to make sure that this input line is a red. Now, we probably don't need this one to be a red because it's going to be a solo. But we just got to kind of also make sure it's going to work, too. So I'm not too sure whether we're going to get that one to work. This is the one I will question whether we will actually ever see this one working. I'm not too sure about our ability to hook this one up. Yeah, be like that. Fine. Be like that. Alright. And this is where the finagling is going to come in. We're going to have to do a little bit of goofing around here, I think. Okay, so we need to get a line in here. I need to get a line right in here like this. And we're going to do this one right up top and tight. Yeah, I think so. Now we can steal off this line. So let's just stop the presses here for a second. Let's chip these two lines out for a second. Let's just get a visual on what's coming in here. Let's just use this guy temporarily for a bunch of storage. Get my train tracks out of the way. That way we can pick some stuff up. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just saying, okay, let's reset and rethink here for a second, because we've got a bunch of new boys on the block here. So we're going to want this guy likely to come right down like this, and we'll actually steal right off this line. This will work just fine. Alright, we got our tank. Let's get those miners up and just keep bleeding those off as fast as we can. Okay, and I'm guessing you're a yellow, but we'll make you a red. And we will finish you off like that. Okay. And that is basically going to be that line. We're just going to use that line right there to feed that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to siphon half of it off and bring it over this way this time, and then we'll cycle it back together with this line. Alright, so this is the line we were splitting, and now what we're going to do is we're going to join it with this other line that's already split to kind of keep it a nice, crisp, clean, nice thick line here. Okay. And that'll keep that line nice and thick. And what that means to us is we need to get this coal way over here, and this is where the challenge is going to be, possibly. I think we can just snake it. I think we're just gonna be able to just kind of squeak it in like that, and I think we're okay. I was kind of looking at it going, I don't know, it's gonna be close. Okay, let's get a splitter right there, and just a couple. I may as well just run reds from there. It won't matter at that point. It'll be staggered anyways. Okay. So, now we've got our two lines that are coming all the way in from the bottom. We're going to have two lines coming across. This one's kind of running designated. So we're going to want to have a splitter on there. We kind of talked about that before. We want to kind of split this line once beforehand, this middle one. So we've got that going on. The issue that we've got right now is this is not going to work because this is a little bit too tight here. So we're just going to pull this one back. Oopsie, that wasn't where you wanted you. We wanted you there. Okay. And then we're going to pull that forward, and now we can pull forward this outside line, which is what I was working on. And now we've got that line going. And then we can come along and say, oh, let's clean up this mess, which has got way too much stuff going on. Yeah, there's all that copper. That's why you don't want to start picking up the copper, because then you just get bundles and bundles of it in your bags. But we have now kind of finished this off. And now that we've got those done, we can reconnect our other lines, because they won't just constantly be feeding stuff. So there we go. We're back in business, and I think that should work for us, and that should hopefully give us a bit more in the way of resources. Now, what I would like to do is get as much of this back into the system as we can. So we're just going to do that by just pitching them in here as fast as we can. We'll just kind of go back and forth here and just kind of throw them in, get them into the old fire pits. Come on. Burn, burn, baby, burn. We need more ore. I'd like to be able to pick this whole thing up if we can. I think it's going to be a bit of a stretch. Oh, we actually got it. Nice. Okay, so the other thing we got to do now that we've got this nice thick bead of copper here, is pull that off there. And where's our other bead? That's the same bead. Good. So the questions become something like this. What happens if we bring in this line and then this line all together? What happens to us? And does this line stay backed up? And I'm expecting that it should, which means we probably can bring all three of these lines down, which is what I'm hoping. And that way, hopefully, the backlog that we've been experiencing will kind of go away, because we won't be feeding 2 lines into 3, we'll be feeding 3 into 3, and it'll get us there a little bit faster. So we've got our fingers crossed here a little bit. No promises, just hopes. Hopes and dreams. Okay. Come on, you can do it. No, that's not how you do it. I could have done it if I did it right. There we go. There should be 3 lines. We should be able to pull all this off. We've got nice, thick, look at this, like we got double ores coming in. We got double coppers. This is what you really want to see, double. And then what we want to see is nice, thick lines of ore coming out of here. And hopefully, if we can pull this off, if we can pull all this off, this modern miracle of science and engineering and ingenuity. Okay, maybe that was a bit of overkill. But if we can actually have this, then there's no reason why. I love when the patterns do things like this. They start doing really neat little patterns. It's kind of cool. It almost, you feel like you should be able to put a player piano on it and have it start playing some things or some weird thing. Of course, I'd be like ding, 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 dong, 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 dong. Okay, enough of that. Why don't we build some greens over here? Now, we talked a little bit about not wanting to infringe on our military area, but most of the military thing I think that we're going to get now is we're gonna kind of want to build up north anyways. I am not thinking there's too much else we want to put down here, so why don't we quickly, and I think maybe we actually already have one like this. Let's just take a look in our, that's the reds. I think maybe we only have the reds. I don't think we have one set up for the greens. So let's just grab another. You can see I'm just gonna, like a lot of these blueprints, like we can just kind of take this blueprint and go, you know what? Never gonna use it again, trash it. Never gonna use it again, trash it. I don't have any real problem rebuilding blueprints. I build things so quickly, typically I'm just not too worried about them. Okay. Okay, not blues. Greens is what we want. So what we want is this lovely little sector back here. This is this little cheap thing right here. This by the night room thing right here is what we want to see. It's a cheap little guy, but he's gonna be what we're gonna want to see. And that was rhyming and not intending to, and I apologize already. That was not supposed to happen. Okay, we want to line up these assembly machines with our other ones. Give ourselves a little bit of space, and we'll do that. And we will do this. And we will do, I don't know whether we can actually get 3 to work. I'm debating whether this is even feasible. Let's see how 2 goes, and if we can do 3, we'll do 3. I have my doubts we could actually feed down 3 worth. I just don't think that's going to be a thing. Alright, there. This is going to be our out. This will be our in and our in. Just kind of tidy up some of these a little bit. That's going to be coming back out, both sides. And we should be nice and thick by the time we get out of here. Okay, guys, just keep building. You can do it. We know you've got the wherewithal. Just keep throwing it together. You got all the bits in me. You can do it. Okay, so we're going to need to bring in some copper from here. How are we doing? We got this. That'll be copper. And we'll just cycle that over like this. And just do a little jump. Like that. There's copper 1. We're going to go do the other copper, so we're kind of doing the same things. And we're going to do a copper 2 right here. And why don't we give ourselves a little bit of cheat from center there, just to make sure that we don't run thin when we go and do this. And we will just give ourselves another little tunnel right there. And I think I just need to grab some goodies here real quick. I need some more yellow tunnels or yellow underground belts or whatever we're calling them. And how are we doing for regular belts? Let's just grab a few more of those too. We've been trying to stick to the reds, but I mean, frankly, well, that's the other thing, is we could run reds down in here if we find that this isn't going fast enough. So, and we are pulling off there. I mean, we already kind of started to make it thick. We already started to do the thing. We will see if this works. I'm not sure if we've got the resources. We will see what we can do. One there. One there. And 1, 2 there. Of course, you're not going to let me do it. Just not quite standing close enough. And now we can get the ore plates. And we'll just do another little bridge cap from center. Another one right there. And then we'll just do the tunnels. Whoops, not like that, you don't. And there, and there. One more, and finished. And hopefully, what we will see, coming back the other way, is we can start feeding back, start giving back to our line here would be nice. And we'll just do that, and we'll just put a joiner here like this, and we'll put another one right there. And basically what we're hoping for is that we can join back in, and then that'll feed the other side of the track as well. And hopefully that'll start doing something. Now we see we're getting doubles out. I see we're already kind of running a little thin on the copper here. So I think what I might do, I think we're actually going to, we've already got a bit of a, here's our splits. I think we're going to drop a split right there, just to kind of help us feed some more copper plate across there. And then what we'll do is we'll feed a little bit more from this side over to this side for that one. The ore doesn't seem to have, even the ore is struggling a bit. So what we'll do the same thing with the ore. We'll grab a bit more back here. Oh boy, now this is where you got into problems. Fantastic. You get your bags full. You get your bags full. Yeah. And because your bags are full, you can't pick stuff up, and then you get it stuck on the belt and you can't find it, and so now it's hung up on your belt somewhere and you don't know where it's gone. It's just kind of vanished. And what you'll find is it'll sit right in front of something that you wanted to have doing something else, and of course it can't. You see this isn't quite finished up here. It's struggling to finish itself. Alright, power. Now it's gone. There we go. Okay, thick line. This line's still a little weak. Still a bit weak on this line, eh? Not sure what else we can do to kind of keep that line from going. Now we are pulling down things to finish this building, so once this is done, once we replace all those yellow items that we took, that'll hopefully help. The thing that we see now, though, is our green here is thickened right up, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Getting this to thicken up, that was our main objective in all this. So we've now got our copper built up. We've thickened up our green. We should be in a good position next time to come back and now steal a little bit off of here. You can see we're burning through this green. It isn't like we couldn't just leave this and let it finish. I mean, we really do need eventually to keep this all going so we can keep these yellow pots going. But like I showed, we don't really need that many yellows at this point in the game. I mean, later on, yeah, we need lots of them. But right now, if we're working towards the rocket, the one rocket that we're going to have, later on we'll want a bunch of rockets. That's a different problem. But for right now, we're going to steal a little bit of this, and then we're going to start building some, rockets and, what do they call them, cannon shells. So we're going to call this an episode. We built up our copper. We got the greens thickened up a bit. They're not perfect yet, but we're getting there. And thanks for joining me. I appreciate any likes, all comments. Please subscribe. I'm Nerd Dad, and I am out.